more of an kind of insights what's going on already. So especially Arthur has built a very cool software and he wants to show you a lot of cool stuff. So this is not only theoretical, it's very practical today.
Yes.
So all these kinds of AI things you already can use. And we also want to discuss about how will CRO look like in future. I think
Yeah,
this is
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
very exciting. And yeah,
Yeah, we discussed a lot about that, I think, and it's really interesting because we see today people are using ChatGPT to do CRO. They're already using ChatGPT to, I don't know, write text or translate text or ask for IDs. I think we see that a lot in the industry, and it's really that's what Kickstarter is. Like if I use it ChatGPT today, how far can it go? Like, sure, I can make small elements now, but how far can it go for CRO expert? ChatGPT is not built for CRO expert. It's built for multiple generic purposes. But like if we really deconstruct ChatGPT, there is an LLM that has access to tool. And what if this tool were built for CRO experts? And I think that's what really got exciting because then there is kind of no limits. It's just what can we build? How far can we go? I think it's a very exciting topic. I mean, I have to admit, I dream about it. It's I'm very fascinated. I think there is always so many new things you can do. This technology is amazing.
I think all of us are somehow excited about the capabilities of AI and especially what it can do for CRO. So guys, if you have any questions, if you want to share some insights with us, please feel free to use the chat during the webinar. We also need your input in order to have very good discussions. So feel free to use the chat anytime. And I guess it makes totally sense now, Arthur, if you just show us a few things, what you already can do with AI and CRO. I'm also always excited what you will show us because I really love this shizzle.
Maybe I can present myself first. It's like I'm Arthur, so I'm a growth hacker expert or CRO expert, depending on the field. I've worked for a few years as the head of data and growth in a Shopify agency, and there I was combining data science and CRO. And it was very interesting to build that for clients, but I always thought there was more to it. And so after a few years of building that, I decided, okay, let's make it a product. Let's make it available to all and for cheap so that everyone can use AI to build better CRO. That's really where we started. I don't know, maybe Stephanie, you want to quickly introduce Varify for people who don't know? I don't know if.
Sure. I'm always very passionate to jump into the topics directly, but you're totally right, Arthur. Yeah, my name is Steffen. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Varify. Varify, who is not familiar with it, it's an A/B testing platform, which is quite affordable. And yeah, we are also trying to introduce more and more of AI features in future for sure. Right now, we don't have one, but maybe today I get more inspired how we also can combine things. So yeah, I pass the ball to you, and now
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
So Stefan and I were discussing how can we not only use AI, but also use existing platform like Verify to deploy at scale. That's really what sparked the discussion. So stay tuned. I think you're gonna see very nice experiments, and at the end, I promise you, you will see things that will save you hours of time when you prepare experiment. Um, so we've discussed a bit with Stefan, and we're like, okay, what are today the tasks that are hard for CR experts? Or not even hard, but sometimes even just time consuming. It takes sometimes a lot of time in order to build an experiment and time that are not really well spent, so to say, a lot of research. We think that can be done better and faster by AI. So we were discussing different topic and try to see how can we make it easier for CR experts? How can we build a tool with AI to make it the work of CR expert faster and better? And one of the first topic we discussed about was as simple as writing USP. I'll put you in the shoes. You have a customers. They come. They sell. They sell unique products, but on their website, nowhere is the USP. So as a CR expert, you decide, okay, we want to put USP on the homepage to show really what are they good at. And there are different way of doing that. That there is a simple way where you try to find a USP if they're already on the website, and then you write some USP and you say, okay, that's it. But I think as a CRO expert, you always want to make it better, or you can make it better, and you can also make some research. And there are many sources of information: the customer review, the customer support, even the competitors also have some USP, and all these sorts of information can be used and aggregated in order to make better USP. And that's really the discussion we had with Stefan, because I myself spent, when I remember when I had to build this kind of experiment, it was super time consuming to go through all the reviews and to try to say, okay, what are the USP? What do actually customer value about that product? And that was really the trigger with Stefan. And we decided, okay, what can AI do to make it easier? And that's really what I want to dive into as a first experiment. So the first experiment together is building USP for certain customer, and I will show how it works. And then I think it's this. That would be the one. All right, Stefan, I believe you can see my
I
screen
can
here.
see your screen. I hope
Perfect, perfect.
one else as well.
All right, all good. So this is the core of the app. And as simply, we'll start with typing our test customers. So Alpaca Camping as help us by offering the website. And so first, this AI will scan the page and try to discover features that we can implement on the page. This is a very standard process. Some people do it by hand, but here it's just an AI that compares the database of ID to the page. And we see that is our customers. And our customers, they are a camping platform. They are selling guides for camping in Germany. And the homepage doesn't show truly what the actual value is.
True.
I don't know if you want, you know them better, Stefan. I don't know if you want to add something there, but
No, I just can agree. So they just sell some specific books for camping, so also other accessories. Um, but it's not really clear why I should, for example, buy a specific camping guide here and not on Amazon or at the competitor's website. So I guess it's a valid point to just show some valid USPs here.
exactly. And I think even the banner here say we are Alpaca, but that doesn't yet convey the value that what they're great at. And so this first AI has brought us a list of ideas of what we can implement. The first one we want to implement is the one we discussed, is the USB above the fold. And I think here's going to be a very interesting step, is that as we discuss, when people prepare USB, there are different ways. But here we'll tap into the AI chain of thought. You probably have already seen that on ChatGPT. Sometimes the AI thinks and they create a to-do list, and then they go through the to-do list in order to find all the information they need. And that's really what we're going to tap into. So when I go for the USP, I see that the AI is making research, and we see it's going to load the review of Alpaca, and it's going to go to all the steps necessary to truly understand the context of Alpaca campaign. Here it's even finding competitors. And I think that's is finding competitor here on Amazon. And then it's loading the review for the competitor it finds. And that's actually a lot of time that the CRO expert, I think, can spend, like finding all the reviews, summarizing the review. It's stuff
Mhm.
that AI can do today already very well. It's just that you need to prompt it and type it, and it takes a lot of time, and sometimes it's not even possible. For instance, reading review on Amazon, it's not possible by with ChatGPT, so it's something you have to do yourself. And
What
that's what
AI are you using, Arthur? So what LLMs? So we just got a question, and I'm also very curious about that.
it's a very good question. We actually have a whole structure, but we mostly use Claude from Anthropic. And then if Claude crashes, which happens time to time, there's a fallback mechanism that then call the same to OpenAI.
Mhm.
Um, and okay, so here we have the results. And what we really wanted to do with this tool is to say, we want to bring the result already to the CR experts to already help them. And so what we have three competitors. There's these three competitors. I don't know them, but I think probably the Alpaca would know them.
I think the German participants here also will know them.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It's good. Good to
At
know.
least the third one, ADAC, it's quite yeah, good and famous, I guess. At least the brand will know is very well known in Germany.
That's good. Okay. Good to know. So that the AI got that right at least. And And we have the conclusion here. The key differentiators, natural connected experience, insider host tips, and curated location. And this is really the summary of the whole research done for Alpaca. But of course, maybe you want to see a bit of detail. So we have the research data. And here we see the whole research data. When we see, for instance, for this competitor, we see the customer feedback, we see the key USPs of the customer feedback, and so on and so on. We see that for Alpaca Camping, we see for that this, we see for ADAC. So yeah, we actually see for adact.de that the trusted brand, as you say. And we really here want to give the tool in the hands of the CRO experts. So our goal was to explore how good can AI, well, how far can AI go? And with a chain of thought experiment, we realized it's possible to do that, to do this whole research and provide this insight for the CRO experts.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a very nice start, but of course, after that, you'd like to have it built on your website. And so we have this step that allows the last AI to actually rebuild it for us. And then I think here we are. Yeah. So now we have our website with these 3 USP. And I think that wraps it up well is to say that these 3 USP you can make maybe in 5 minutes. Maybe you can use ChatGPT to help you. Maybe the website does already have it. But to make the best USP possible, you need to spend a lot of time researching. And if it takes a lot of time to research, then well, maybe AI can help you. And now you have the insight and you can decide yourself how to modify it. And I think the great part here is that the CRO expert stays in control. If you don't like it, you can just go back to the research and rewrite this USP, or you write different USP. It's really the tool of the AI. The idea of the AI is just a co-pilot. It's helping a CRO expert make better experiments and save them time.
Okay, so just to sum it up, first of all, you add an URL to the input of your tool. Then an automatic research is started by Claude,
Yeah,
and just competitors are identified for finding the best USPs, which
yeah,
could fit my brand. And then a design is created. So this design is created, which just inherits this information and presents it as USPs on the website, right? So this is what
exactly.
Database is doing.
Exactly. And it's
Cool.
just, we're here really in this sandbox environment where we're exploring the boundaries and we really wanted to push the AI to say, okay, how far can it go? And of course, the last step is to potentially deploy the experiment. So we could deploy the experiment to Shopify, and that would use the API of Varify to send it to Varify. It might take a bit of time, so we'll go back to it later. But that's really the point.
So basically, just for everybody, I know his tool, but I'm not very accustomed to the way how he's sending data to Verify. We have an API, so stuff like this really can be done. But how all of this magic works together, I have no idea yet. So this is also a premiere for me. So this is super cool.
Yeah, I think you make a good point here is to, well, what all this action can be done individually by an individual and with ChatGPT. And I think you can ask ChatGPT to find 3 competitors. You can ask ChatGPT if you make copy paste the review to summarize the review. You ask ChatGPT to find the USP in review or Claude, and for that matter, you can do that all by with ChatGPT. It's just very cumbersome right now,
Mhm.
and that's really where we want to say how can we combine them all together.
So when you deploy those changes, this technically means that you're saving this design or this conceptual design as kind of a code, maybe HTML, JavaScript, whatever. And this is just sent via an API to Shopify or to Verify, it doesn't matter. And then ideally, all of this is just rendered on the page, right?
Exactly. And we use here Verify as an A/B test. So the idea is to send it to Verify so that when we go back to Verify, well, actually, I've seen that this has already been sent, so we can go there. I can go to Verify. So we are here. Am I still sharing? Are you seeing the Verify screen now, right now, or?
Yes, we see the Varify screen.
All right, so you can see the Verify screen, and then you can already see it's here. And then we see this experiment has been sent. Uh, and then after that, we can go to the preview. And if I click here on the preview, then it brings me back to the Alpaca website with the URL. So now we have an A/B test that is ready to be launched. Of course, because we still have the platform, I could go back and edit that, for instance, the text, the icons, everything I want if I don't think it's accurate. But the idea was to make this experiment launch as easy as possible.
Very nice. Okay, this is super cool.
And yeah, so that concludes the first question. And I want to ask now, I want to look at the audience. I want to look at the CRO experts that are here about around us. And I do assume they're already working with ChatGPT, but I want to ask you is like, how cool is that? Or let's say, how useful is that for your work? Do you think that it's just a nice gimmick? Or maybe do you think that it truly has the potential to help you in your work?
Yeah, would you guys work with a solution like that? Or maybe did you build already something similar on your own? Or is it more like you're just using ChatGPT and you only use it for part of the things to create your experiments, like creating hypotheses or creating designs or JavaScript code or whatever? Ah, okay. We have a little bit of feedback. For example, absolutely, we are working on building a similar solution, looking forward to the more personalized stuff. I use it for code mainly for now. Stuff like this we already heard. So, Shika, you built a very similar solution. So, what's your solution about? So, do you work with but do you build it yourself? Is it built by your team? What is the goal of it? So exactly the same thing as Asa mentioned. Just let your time. We also can continue in the meantime. But
All
yeah, so
right.
a few of the participants already are working with this stuff. This is super cool. Another
Yeah.
one, using AI a lot for planning and mock-up. A lot depends on context given to the tool, and still human in the loop is required. Yeah, Vyacheslav, I have the same feeling. Very often, you already get inspired and you have very cool input, but afterwards you need to optimize it a bit, at least a bit.
Yeah, and I would even add on that is that I think that the human of the loop is necessary. We discussed that, Stefan, in the past, but if it was all to ChatGPT, all the website would look similar, I feel. It would just convert all the website to the best converting website. But I think it's really the CRO expert who knows the brand voice and who knows the customers better than anyone else. So that's why the human of the loop cannot be skipped.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, and I still have the same opinion. If you're just copying the same test ideas, this is also a trend you will see on LinkedIn. Just copy and paste the same experiments. For some of the website, it's working, for others not. Um, in order to make it a little bit more individual and whatever, I think you always need to have this research part. You always need to have an understanding what's your target group. Of course, you also can feed the AI with all of these thingies, but still, I guess you need to have at least a human for now, maybe not in 5 years anymore. I don't know, because you can feed the AI with so many different inputs, but somehow I doubt that you can get rid of the human completely.
Yeah, I think you always gonna need a conductor. I like to make the metaphor to, I don't know if you've ever heard of Kasparov, which was the chess champ, the world's best chess player, and he got beaten by AI in 1998. And then what he did, he started to make competition where human and AI would work against AI. And his results to say that human and AI always beat AI, even if you put three AI in front.
Mhm.
And that was very telling to me, just to say, if it was already the conclusion in 1998 for chess only at the time, I think it's always going to stay true. The human has the vision, he knows better, and then the AI can do the small tactics here and there.
I've never heard about that. Oh, this sounds very curious.
Yeah.
This chess. approach that human and AI will beat AI. I really have to Google that. This is super exciting.
Yeah, it's the Kasparov story. I think it's very interesting. But
Hmm.
maybe moving on, we wanted to show another demonstration where I think that AI can really help. And for that case, we'll compare with another websites. And here the point is to say, how do you start to get ID? You're starting with the customers and you want to have some IDs. Well, sometimes you have a list of best practice, of course, that you can already decide, okay, what should we implement? Sometimes the customer itself is coming, the customer is coming and saying, I want to be like this competitor. So they bring you a competitor and they say, I want to be like this competitor. And then you want to see which feature would work. And that's a bit what we wanted to do here. So we took this competitor, which is a competitor for customer, and then we're going back to tool. And the idea is that in the advanced search, instead of choosing best practice, I will pick the competitor and I'll put the competitor URL. And
Hmm.
then I will then put the all clients, which is Casarto doing phone case, and then we'll check get ID. And here, instead of comparing against best practices, we suddenly ask the AI to go analyze the competitor features, and compare that to our customers and see, okay, what is missing as potentially good converting feature on our customer website. It's also a process that can take a bit of time, but very exciting. Like, so here we see that this is the customer's website with a pop-up, and then he's analyzing and say, okay, what is the brand type? And I think, again, this kind of comparison can take a lot of time. I've done that myself many times and comparing customers with their competitor. And we realize actually with two screenshots, AI can do a job very, very accurately. And so here the AI has again suggested a list of experiments. And for this one, we'll focus on the side-by-side device selection. So if we go back here, we have the two devices that are next to each other. And on our customers page, we see that they're above each other. And so we'll ask this one. And then again, the process starts is that the AI is going to do a bit of research, try to see, okay, what is the components. The research a bit faster here. There's a bit less research to do because AI has already done some work. Okay, and here we see what are the key benefits of making side-by-side selection works. And improve conversion, reduce friction, better UX. Okay. So here the research is a bit less deep because we've already compared to competitors. So we assume that the competitor is either testing or has already found that this is a winning variant. And again, well, there is the more research of the data, but yeah, it's gonna make the same statement. What's interesting now again is to try to see, okay, can we build it? So we go and we'll ask the AI to rebuild the feature. Okay, yeah, here we have it. And so what I see now is that suddenly I have these two drop down next to each other. And one of the perks, of course, is that allows suddenly the add to cart to be above the fold. Before that, the add to cart was below the fold, now it's above the fold. And the AI also creates some different variants, so we can check like if we want to deploy it differently, some variant of design. Yeah, so this one looks the best, and then we can choose. There is still works. So that's an example where the AI actually copied the codes of competitors and to say, okay, maybe we can implement that for the customers. And the logic's always the same. If we like it, we can deploy on Shopify, and then we'll see if it takes time. But again, here we really wanted to think as a CRO expert, you need to do research for IDs. What would it take to copy a competitor? And AI can do it very fast. And that's very impressive. And what I think very exciting is that all these steps can be done much faster. And it's still up to the CRO expert to decide which feature to launch. But at least now all the tools are there. It's just the CRO expert has just the hardest job left is to decide what goes live. But all the rest can be built by AI.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of cool new questions, Arthur.
All
I
right.
also have a lot of questions myself, but yeah, I guess I just will read those first. Can you adjust the design inside the preview? So can you ping pong with the AI somehow?
Not yet. It's a very good question. This is a very complex feature that we try to implement. It's technically possible, but we didn't release it because it was more often than not breaking the design.
So I'm pretty sure in future tools like Database are able to do so because it's a nice to have, even if you can do a user input in order to,
Yeah.
yeah, frame the AI a bit how it should look like. But I think it's a very important thingy and a very good question. Another one is, can Database be used with Magento shops as well, or only Shopify yet?
We're currently only working with Shopify. And the fundamental reason is because the code in Shopify is very standard. So it's very easy to build Q&A. The last thing we want to do is to break the shop. And we are now, so that's why we only work with Shopify. But if you have only Magento customers, let's get in touch and we can see maybe how we can work it out.
So technically, for sure, stuff like this is possible, but in order to be on the safe side, it's better to have a robust HTML structure, which is more or less aligned, like in Shopify. So it's
Exactly.
easier to create the variations on this, yeah, let's say aligned DOM you have. Is this right, Arthur?
Yeah, and I'll make it even simpler. We need to verify that the add to cart and the checkout works. And
Mm-hmm.
so in order to verify that, we know that Shopify is a very standard process, and then we run this process. If we start with a new platform that has a different way of adding to cart and checkout, we can take a certain risk. But as we're now making pilots, we're really adapting to see what the customer wants. So we're still working by hand in the background to improve the platform. So I think it is possible. For the person who has Magento, let's get in touch, and if the Magento is not too complex in the code, I think we can make it work here.
Okay, very cool. Another question directly from LinkedIn. So there is no need to develop the variation proposed. So the code is already sent like this, like it's developed to the A/B testing tool. So in this case, to Verify.
Yeah, exactly. That's correct. So that's what we saw with Alpaca. So here was a review, but that's the deployment. So through the API, we deployed that feature. I could just start the experiment right now, clicking here. So the variant's already created. The variant is this one, and then we can already see that is there. Uh, I could just say press experiment and start it. We want to leave the choice for the CRO expert to potentially modify it or have the final approval. But if you want it, you can just deploy it and you're good to go.
Cool, thank you. Another one. Can we feed our own test idea into the tool for speedy implementation on Shopify? And will the selectors we see for variation be connected to the shop backend automatically, or manual work is needed?
Okay, I think we have two questions here. So I'll
Yeah.
start with the first one. So can you repeat the first one? It was
The
wow,
first one is,
wait.
can we feed our own test idea into the tool for speedy implementation on Shopify?
This is an alpha feature. It's a bit like the feedback. So currently it is. It is possible because the hardware actually that or software is doing is actually deconstructing the page to see where elements is where. And after that, it's relatively easy to add or replace a feature when it's there. But again, this is more in the alpha, so it's not really stable yet, and we didn't show it. This is a good question. If that's something you'd be interested in exploring, you can also contact me back again. We'll put a link at the end of the presentation. We're now launching pilots with customers that want to experiment and try out things. So feel free to reach out after the webinar.
And the second question, I do not really get it or understand it in full, but maybe you. And will the selectors we see for variation be connected to the shop backend automatically, or manual work is needed?
If I understand well, no, I'm actually not sure I understand. But as far as I understand, the question is about JavaScript injection, or the difference directly making the change in Shopify store. So currently we work with JavaScript injection, and so we can make lightweight change, but we can also simply send the code to the Shopify backends and then make a change in the theme. And then the experiment would just be to hide or show the variation. So I'm hoping I answer, but let's say both changing the theme and making JavaScript injection are possible. I hope that answers the question.
Perfect. I think so. Vyacheslav is not, if not, just feel free to re-ask, or maybe even after the call. There's another one. I'm currently working with AI and CRO across different stages, from hypothesis generation using market context and experience to experiment documentation, test planning, and final data analysis. Really impressed by the solution you presented. It aligns a lot with this approach. Yeah, cool.
Well,
So we are on the
thanks a
same
lot.
page. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we heard that a lot already from previous comments. I think a lot of people are excited what AI can do for CRO. We are super excited as well. We just want to bring that forward. The goal of the collaboration with Stefan was to say, okay, let's go crazy and let's push the limit to see how far we can go. And I think everyone is on the same vibe. It's great to see. I think CRO people are open-minded and ready to embrace the future. That's what I love to see around the field.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, then I think we proceed. Can I feed it my own test idea? So I think, Database. Can I feed Database my own test ideas and keep your workflow for recommendations?
Yes, so it is possible in alpha feature. So when we arrive in the ranking page, there is alpha feature that can be unlocked currently only for admin that allow to type UID, and then the AI will translate this ID. Well, will ask translate the ID into another CRI. Well, what it thinks is CRID, and upon confirmation, it can actually go back with the workflow. So you can both have a database ID along with your own IDs in the feed. Yeah.
Okay,
So the
perfect.
answer is yes. And if you want to implement that, we're ready. As I said, we're implementing pilots in order to try to implement these alpha features with some customers.
Okay, there's so many questions asked. I cannot ask all of them. I think we should proceed now.
All right, so I will just go on because I think we have one last experiment that I'm really excited to show around. But well, we'll have a link for people who want to reach out. We can reach out directly, and we can even take time to explore the solutions together. The last experiment is maybe very tricky. Well, it's very complex time-wise, but it's actually simple to do by a human if it in certain circumstances. Well, here we want to write a simple short product description. It can be easy if you have one product and one language to write a short product description. And I think everyone had to do that. I think everyone today already uses ChatGPT and say, okay, please, here's a screenshot, write me a short product description. But the very difficult part is that if you have different languages and if you have 50 products that are completely different that you need to write short product description, then it becomes very time expensive to start to make this simple experiment short product description. And that's really what we wanted to explore here, because it's not hard for AI. It's just time consuming to send it to ChatGPT, retrieve it back, send another different version, different language, send it for different products. So that's what we explore here today with ArtMinds. And so we go back here again. So this classic process, it's taking screenshots, it's analyzing the PDP, and it's going to analyze the category as well of the PDP, and then it's going to bring. But the interesting part, and again, with a small pop-up here, we don't see per short per description. So we have the price, we have an offer, and then there is no product description. And we believe it can increase the conversion rate. But the problem, as you already see, is that we have a piece of art, and a piece of art it's already hard. It's emotional description. So writing a short product description for an emotional product, it's relatively complex. And that's where we're going to try to leverage the AI in full. So we're going to ask to write short product description. And here the trick is that we also have 3 languages. So we have German, English, and Dutch. And Dutch, yeah. And we have 50 products. So we'll see. The AI here will actually start by extracting the store language, extract the store brand voice, creating language profile, and then it's going to create product description first in English, and then it's going to create a localized version in German and a localized version in Dutch. and then it's gonna wrap it up to make its designs. And I think here the really interesting part is that, and we can see that in this description. We found a tree language, okay, the store brand voice is artsy, that's all good. Now the very interesting part is that you don't sell art the same way to a German person than to a Dutch person. And it says it here, for the German language, the accent is on artistic credibility, context, and symbolism. For English, the accent is on statement value and cultural impacts, and for Dutch, the accent is on playfulness and design appeal. So the very important part here is that the AI understood that it's not just a translation. You really want to localize the short product description to show it to specific people with a certain emotional appeal, especially selling art. And again, this is so we have the detail of the research data here. So we've all, I mean, I cannot read German and a bit of Dutch, so I'll just go for the English one. But that's the English translation. And why this angle? The English-speaking markets respond to bold statement-making process, and so on and so on and so on. So it goes here, the AI will describe why it chose this angle, this emotional angle, to translate that. And I think this is really the crazy part. Yeah, if we like it, then we go to the design. And here again, it will bring the view design. So we have our product, and we see it, let's look up again. We see it in English, and we have also the possibility to see it in German. And I cannot read German, but I believe the tone is relatively different, and we can have it in Dutch. And again, in Dutch, the tone is again different. So it's not just a translation. And I think the really important part is that we've localized the angle here, depending on the language. But of course, here we've done only one product. You might have 50 products. So it might be a lot of work to do. And that's why we create this option. The advanced option is to apply individually for each product, and then you can deploy it to Shopify. And so here it will really go fetch the product.json file from your store and then go to every product and apply the same angle to every product. And that's a lot of work. Here it says 5 to 10 minutes, but I believe it might take more time. So we prepared this experiment already in Varify to show it. So again, it has been sent to Varify, and let me go back to this ArtMind. And here we see the database deploy. And if I go on a preview, which is the preview of the customers, we can see here the experiment has already been deployed. We have here, for instance, a version in German. That's really nice. That's one product description for one language. But let's say, what about the other products? Well, it's also there. So we have here this other product, and we have returned the product description in German. And then if we change the language to English, it brings back the product description. Yeah, all right. And so again, I'm not sure if this is the best way to describe this piece of art, but at least you have a start. You suddenly have, for every product, every language, you have already a product description. And at best, you just you proofread it, but you don't have to write it yourself. And so we can save a lot of hours. And again, this is all in this experiment. So the experiment is now ready, and I can just press start the experiment and it's launched. Or I can go myself and try to review every product, every language to be sure it's according, but I trust AI, so I believe I can just launch. So that's a crazy experiment. That's the craziest part where we think it really can save a lot of time to your expert today.
I really like the use case, Arthur. As you already mentioned, this is very time consuming. And I also like the approach that it's not just a translation. So even when it's just a translation, it's already very nice idea. And that you just use the whole AI thingy and create your A/B test just out of nothing, basically, right? So it's really cool. And we all know that emotions are a very important part in CRO. And I think we just should recommend ArtMind to start a test, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it really could work out, right? It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I actually am meeting them tomorrow to actually launch that test. But
Cool.
because yes, and again, I think if I have to wrap it up, we want CR expert will always stay in the lead. it's a co-pilot. But it's just that between writing USPs that are very basic or very research, we know that better USP will convert better. But it's just taking so much time in researching. The same for product description. It is not the CRO expert is not expert at writing product description for art pieces. It's expert at deciding what experiment should go live, what corresponds to the audience, and how to improve the website. So we really wanted to get rid of all this time-consuming work for the CRO expert and say that's what AI can do today. And this is already there. It's just that instead of doing it hand by hand by with ChatGPT, you can now use some tools to do it faster for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is super cool. I just imagine how complicated this would be if I need to do this all with ChatGPT or Claude or
Oh
whatever,
yeah.
step by step. And of course, in the end, it will work out. But also, I need to find out the right prompts and all of those things. But yeah, I like this approach. So from, I don't know, creating hypothesis test ideas to the full code output, of course. Um, I think there's still room for a lot of error and you need to double check those things. But
Yeah.
I think you already have a little bit of an overview of what's coming next in future, right? So all of the CRO process will be way more automated. And
Yeah.
do you even think, Arthur, that we can get rid of developers, programmers completely with this kind of approach? Or do you think they are super complex thingies? Because this is quite easy, maybe, but if you need to, let's say, redesign a whole checkout, for example, do you also think an AI can do this without issues, bugs, and maybe specific knowledge?
I honestly don't think so. I think what AI is good at fundamentally is bringing you from zero to the final draft in a matter of seconds. But the last step of final draft to final version, you always need a human to verify it. I think for simple experiments, it could already do it. And with proper structure like the tool we offer, it has already a lot of guardrails to verify that the checkout is still working, that the card is still working. So it could do a big part. But if we need to redesign the checkouts, I wouldn't yet trust AI. I think you still need a human in the loop.
Yeah, I also think so. Arthur, we are nearly finished, so
Yeah, I just
maybe
want.
you want to say a few last words, and maybe for the participants, feel free to stay in longer. We want to answer your questions if you like.
Uh,
Um, but for the rest, maybe the last words to you, Arthur. And thank you again for showing all these cool things.
Well, it was my pleasure. My last word would be we're currently opening pilots. So if you have customers and you want to try it, if you're an agency and you want to try to see what AI can do for you, you've already experiment ready, you want to save time, then just go to database.ai/pilots. You can register there and I will contact you back to organize this pilot. We're really super excited about AI. We think that the community and the CRO experts are already ready there, and we wanted to push it to the next level. So join us in our quest and just register for pilot. There are only few spots available for the pilots, and the inscriptions closes next Friday. So be sure to register. And I'm looking forward to work with you. And I'm really excited to have done this webinar. I hope you guys are all very excited. I see the whole community is on fire. They're ready to make it happen. So let's make it happen together.
Cool, perfect. Thank you. And yeah, guys, feel free to register at Database. It's a really cool tool. Arthur, there are more questions. Are there prompts you use visible, adjustable somewhere?
Sorry, I'm not sure I got the question. Could you repeat?
The prompts you're using, are they adjustable somehow?
Um, the short answer is yes, by me. The more complex answer is that there is currently a whole logic that sends prompt to clothes and then retrieves it. And then because you've clicked on a certain button, it sent a certain prompt. So it's not adjustable by the users at the moment. It's adjustable through the interface.
Yeah. The other question I answer myself, what CMS e-commerce platforms are you integrated with? It is Shopify only right now, but yeah, let's see what the future brings.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
There is another one. What if there are limiting factors like governmental regulations on what is allowed to say, show, and so on? Is it possible to set some kind of condition so the AI makes sure to meet those regulations?
Yes. So in the deploy part, I've shown some advanced deploy option. There you can put some custom what do you call that? Custom instruction. So there is already one instruction that can be fine-tuned for SEO. Then you can put some keywords. There are different options. There is not per se a box that say comply with XYZ, but you can send there already a prompt and then ask to fine tune it. But I think still at the end of the day, that's why we need a CR expert, because the CR expert will know what is and what is not possible, at least legally. And we need that to double check. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did I understand that correctly? The changes are pushed to the current Shopify theme and hidden or displayed within Varify.
So currently, the change are pushed to the Verify platform. Verify is an A/B testing platform, and the change are pushed there, and then can be launched to the Verify platform. They are not yet pushed to the theme. That's in the building as well, but that's not there. We currently want to facilitate A/B tests and not simply building feature for Shopify.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, then a lot of good words that they enjoyed the presentation. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'm looking forward to work with the most ambitious of you to pilot. I think we can really push the boundaries of CR expert, as say. So yeah, looking forward to get more work done.
Cool. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening. I guess this were all the questions left. If you have any questions to Arthur, feel free to reach out. It's really appreciated. And if you want to share any feedback with us, maybe we missed some specific parts or whatever, we are happy
Exactly.
to do a new webinar also together with you again. We love to discuss with you as well. So the pleasure was all on our side as well. And yeah, thank you again, Arthur. And yeah, speak in a bit.
Bye. Speaking a bit. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.